Do you hate vehicles in Warzone? Well, I've got a stoner build for you. Hey guys, how you doing? In today's video, I'm going to be showing you a really fun build for the stoner LMG, which absolutely shreds through vehicles, even in solos. Vehicles in Warzone can be a right pain to deal with, especially in the final circles. Well, with one attachment, you can convert your stoner into a vehicle-destroying monster that's much more versatile than an RPG. The cavalry barrel doubles your weapon's damage against vehicles, allowing you to take them out quickly from a safe range. As you can see from the current clips, half the time you destroy the vehicle before the driver even realises what's happening. All the Cold War LMGs have this attachment available, but the stoner has the highest rate of fire and the fastest TTK of the bunch. This, plus a pretty straightforward vertical recoil pattern, makes this build a perfect mix of utility as well as killing potential. So I'm just going to quickly take you through my build for the stoner. First things first, if you have the Glade Ripper variant, I'd use this because we want this attachment here. Don't need any of the other ones though. This was unlocked, this variant, at I think level 20 of the Season 2 Battle Pass, so most people probably have it if you played then. So we want the biggest mags possible because we're going to be shooting a lot of vehicles, so we're going to need lots of ammo, like without having to reload. And also we want to be able to reload quicker because 150 round mags take ages to reload normally. And because we're going to be fighting at sort of medium ranges, the ADS time isn't that important. So the second attachment, as pretty much every gun you have, just going to use the agency suppressor, just makes it slightly better at range. And again, medium range, so we're not going to need the ADS time to be super snappy. If you don't have this unlocked yet, I'd go for the suppressor if you have it, just because we're going to be shooting for 5-6 seconds to destroy trucks, which if you're going to be on the minimap for that length of time, it's a little bit dangerous. So just if you have the suppressor, I'd say using it. It doesn't make it that difficult to hit enemies at range as well. For the underbarrel, we just want to reduce our recoil, pretty much a standard grip that everyone uses, the field agent grip. For the optic, medium range again, so I like to use the 3x sight and whichever reticle you fancy, but pretty much sight's a personal preference anyway. And finally, for the barrel, using the cavalry lancer, as I've already talked about, this doubles your weapons damage against vehicles and makes it an absolute monster against them. If there are any slight negatives to using this barrel, it's just that you can't use the match spray barrel to increase your effective damage range, but that's not that big a deal because the LMGs have pretty good effective damage ranges anyway. For a backup weapon for this, we want something short range, something nice and snappy. I did originally have it with an SMG because you don't want to be sharing ammo types really, because you're going to be shooting a lot of bullets at vehicles, and if you don't have to use the same ammo types in your two guns, then that's probably the best thing to do. I did have to revert back to the FFAR though, because it was a right pain getting your full loadout out, and then some guy just comes and gets a floor FFAR and just absolutely shreds your SMG. Thankfully, there's been a major nerf to the FFAR, so hopefully it's not going to be meta anymore. So for Season 3, instead of the FFAR, not quite sure which SMGs are the best yet. The new PPSH looks interesting. Other than that, I tried the MAC-10, which is good. It's really good at close range, but not the best at sort of the medium to close range. So you're a little bit lacking sort of in the medium close range area between the MAC-10's best range and the Stoner's best range, but it is decent. And if you want a slightly more versatile gun, I'd go down to the Bullfrog. This seems to be a pretty decent gun for this next season. I mean, it was just slightly worse than the FFAR last season because it's not been nerfed at all, I don't think. In the new patch notes, it's going to be a pretty good weapon, I would assume, next time. But yeah, basically you can just use whichever SMG's meta at the time, to be honest. I did do some quick testing in Plunder to check out how many shots it took to disable and destroy each vehicle with and without the cavalry barrel from 15 meters. I then used these numbers to roughly calculate the time to fully destroy each vehicle. I'll just pop up the stats on screen if you want to see the breakdown for each individual vehicle. Just a quick note, the truck took over 150 shots to fully destroy without a barrel, so I couldn't test exactly how many shots it took to destroy it. I did get a rough estimate though by just doubling the number of shots needed with the cavalry barrel equipped. Now we know how good this gun is in theory, I've got a recent solos gameplay to show you it in action. So I started this game on the edge of military base going for a scavenger contract. I find that's the easiest way to get money fast. I quite enjoy the military base just as an area as well. So we're going to get the contract, quickly go through all of the boxes. There wasn't really anyone else here. There were a couple of people on the other side, but I managed to flank up the side of the military base and keep nice and safe. This car is coming towards me. Not quite sure if it saw me or if it was just coming this way anyway. Annoyingly, I missed my Molotov because if you hit the driver, it does stick to them and it can take them out quite easily. Here though, I managed to get some shots on with the FBR, push in before we can play up, see him on the right. He does do a nice little play jumping past my aim, but I managed to flick around and take him out nice and easily. I then get in this vehicle and I'm driving across the airfield and I notice that I'm going to have the contract on me and then I want to get something slightly more sturdy, so I get into the truck. I did spot that guy when I was going past him, but I thought I could get him before he'd be able to shoot me or anything. He did throw something at me, not quite sure what it was. There might have been a C4, but he didn't explode it anyway. As I'm coming across, I noticed that my contract's getting 2 bars, so I know it's either the guy behind the tank or the guy in the buggy is my contract. I don't want to get out here though, just because I'm going to be vulnerable to that guy in the buggy. He might come and try and run me over, he might go up the hill and get a better position than me. So I'm just going to let those two guys fight, and then I'm going to clear it up. So it turned out the guy on the hill with the buggy was my bounty, and now I'm just going to go and try and take out this guy by the tank. And for some reason, he just didn't move at all and let me run him over. So this was actually 2 or 3 minutes later, and that guy in the truck that we saw in the last skip had just been following me around for absolutely ages, which was pretty annoying because I wanted to go to a buy station. So here I'm going to peek him, but he's expecting me to peek at floor level, so I goes a bit of height on one of these concrete ramps and just get a nice shot onto his chest. Should have taken him out properly, had enough time to get a headshot, but I still took a couple of plates off him. Here I'm just peeking to the right side in case he's hiding on the right side of the cover, and I'm making sure if he does try and get into the vehicle I can get a shot onto him. And also I'm making sure I have cover as well. He gets in the vehicle, tried to snipe him, but I missed the headshot, and I don't think you can headshot through the door of a truck anyway, so not too bad. I know he's a little bit hurt, just trying to put some damage into his truck, but I see that he gets out of the truck, so he's on top of the bunker, or he's running down to get his truck, depending on what he wanted to do. Just check to see when he peaks. Don't see him at all, so get in my truck, and then I notice him on top of the bunker, so he's had enough time to plate up, so I know he's full health. Here, I could have gone left, but I decided to go right, so I cut off his rotation to his truck, so he doesn't have a choice other than to stand and fight. And for some reason, he just stands there. He left it too late to try and get away from me here. Should have jumped off a lot quicker, because it's very hard to run people over on the bunkers if they know what they're doing. Here, I spot the vehicle coming up behind me. I just want to see if that heard the fight and it was going to third party, or if it's just going to get another vehicle. And it turned out that that guy was just going to get the SUV, get a slightly beefy vehicle. So I know I don't have to worry about him too much. Get in my truck, and I'm just going to rotate into zone. So I've rotated into zone to get my loadout and also get a UAV because I have tons of money, as I did before. I'm not going to use my loadout right here though, because I'm right in the middle of zone and there could well be people nearby. That's why I'm using my UAV, just to check if people are nearby. And of course, there was a vehicle. If I dropped my loadout there, that would have been a problem. And as always, they never expect you to be able to blow it up that quickly. Slightly annoyingly, I didn't get the kill for that. I don't know why, because, I mean, I obviously killed him, but I think maybe because he got out of the truck and I blew him up with it. I'm not really sure. Sometimes you don't get the kills. Slightly annoying, but it still works as a right way to destroy vehicles. I see another truck. Spray it up a little bit. Wish I'd been able to get the final bullets onto it because it was pretty low. But I've got a little bit of time to reload now, and you always want to have at least 70-75 bullets in your gun because it takes about that to take out a fully health truck. So, if possible, reload when you have time and when there's just a little bit of a lull in the game. Switching around the corner to see where he is. I didn't spot him going over the bunker there, and I turn around this side so that I can get out the truck and use it as cover. If I'd been running the other way when I get out the truck, I would have been right in the open. And it did turn out that truck was very, very low. So I blow it up, get a hit marker. I don't actually know if I've downed him here at this point. I'm thinking, oh, I might have done, and if I have, I'll be able to run him over nice and easily, but I don't want to risk myself running out in the open if he's not downed. And in the end, he was just hiding behind the tank, and I really can't be bothered to just ring around the rosy with this guy. He knows what he's doing. He doesn't want to get run over straight away. And to be honest, he actually has a pretty decent shot here. He takes me down quite low. And I don't really know why he stopped shooting here. The truck is literally one shot, as you'll find out later on. If he just managed to take 1 or 2 more shots, he probably would have been able to take me out there. I might have been able to quickly find some cover, but he could well have taken me out if he'd blown up my vehicle. Here, I just jump onto the truck just to see what's happening. Probably should have just got in the truck to use the third-person perspective, but just fire a couple of warning shots at him. No real point. I think it was just a little bit annoyed with him for breaking my truck so much. Get my final plate on. Third peek over the wall, and now I can use my loadout because it's nice and safe. I probably should have checked behind me as well, just to my left side, because there could have been someone hiding there, but I play it a little bit risky, and yeah, I go and get my high alert loadout here. I prefer high alert with this setup than Ghost because you're going to be firing a lot. So although you're not on the minimap because you've got your silencer, because you're making a fair bit of noise, it's much better to have high alert on. So when you are like firing for 5 or 6 seconds to destroy a truck, you want to know if someone's going to try and snipe you at that point. So it's a really good thing to use high alert on this class. I really like it. To be honest, Ghost is pretty overrated in this game anyway, because there's so many times where like UAVs, you're on the edge of a UAV, you'll ping up on it, the super UAVs. It's just a bit of a weird mechanic. There should be a thing where if you're moving, you shouldn't be you shouldn't show up on minimaps, and if you're not ghosted, if you're not moving, you should show up on the radars. Anyway, here, as I said before, the truck was very, very low. This guy destroyed it quickly, but because the truck was so low, I knew where my nearest cover was, and that was basically just to spite him. It was annoying me that he destroyed my vehicle, so I destroyed his. And as I said before, even though I'm silenced, I make up a lot of noise when I'm using this gun. So that guy in the truck had heard me. I'm not really sure what his plan was because there was a concrete bollard in between us anyway, so he would never have been able to run me over, but I managed to shoot him out of it as well as destroy the truck. And here, this is the first time where high alert saved me in this game. If I hadn't have realised that guy was looking at me, I probably would have tried to go and loot that guy and would have got taken out, as I wouldn't have been able to get behind this rock or any cover quickly enough. Thankfully, I managed to get back up and get behind this wall and live to fight another day. I just rotated to the nearest vehicle because the zone's a little far away. But then I realised, well, why don't I use this as cover to go and get some more plates, as I only had 2 plates on me and none in my inventory, so I definitely need to get some more plates if possible. And I just killed that guy with the truck, so there was plenty of loot I knew already. So I go in using the same technique as before, getting out the left side of the truck, using it as cover. And here, get one high alert, 2 high alert, so both sides don't really have any cover, but I managed to get the gold gas mask and plenty of plates, so I know that I need to get out of there before my vehicle gets destroyed. And again, if they shot maybe 5 more bullets, definitely would have been destroyed there. At this point, once I got to zone, I've used my vehicle for what I need it for rotations. I don't need to take it into zone because it's going to get destroyed in 2 or 3 bullets, which will probably just put me in a really bad position out in the middle of a field, or someone will just spray it down and blow me up instantly. So I spot this guy the other side of the valley. I don't really have a gun to challenge him. Even with a sniper, I probably wouldn't have taken this shot just because, obviously, if you kill him, it's great, but otherwise you're letting him know that you're behind him. And I bet you anyone in this position wouldn't really expect to be someone to be following them this closely, only a couple of 100 meters behind. So I slowly rotate in after him, making sure not to make any noise. And yeah, this was just me rotating in after him, being nice and quiet. I wasn't sure where he was on this ridge, but I heard him firing, so I knew he was a little bit further away than I thought he was. And I didn't actually see him here. You can see him on the crest of the hill. I thought that was a bush or something. I realised, oh, I probably didn't need to pop dead silence. I could have just snuck up on him and taken him out, but it secured the kill, I suppose. Here, I'm a little bit wary, just because I've made a fair bit of noise, so you do have to be careful. And then I rotated back behind me, just in case someone was coming up the way that I came up. And then this guy flew back in to get his stuff. And you know what? I think I deserve this free kill after not getting that kill on the guy in the SUV. Nice free kill. Again, making noise, so I want to check behind me in case someone's rotating up the same way that I did. Because, I mean, there were a few people in the military base, weren't there? So just had to make sure that no one's sneaking up behind me. And then I just walked in with the zone, and then I know my back's clear now because there's no way up behind me, up the cliff. I'm not sure if on the opposite side of the zone you can get up onto these cliffs or not. I'm not really sure about this part of the map, but I do see the truck down low, as well as the 3 other people. I'm a little bit worried that there might be people in bushes up here, someone who's rotated here a lot earlier, but you never know, you just have to be a bit cautious. And the airstrike, or the cluster strike, forces the truck up towards me. And thankfully for me, it was pretty low and he hadn't spotted me, so I just spray it down, quickly disable it, 20 more bullets or so, blow it up. He never expected to blow it up that quickly. To be fair, even if it had been a little bit slower, he didn't have any cover anywhere near him, so I take him out nice and easily, and that gives me plenty more loot and plenty of ammo, which I kind of need. That's the problem with using 2 guns that use the same ammo if you're trying to destroy trucks with it. But maybe use an SMG this next season. Anyway, yeah, loot his body. And then I decide to swap my heartbeat sensor for stuns, just because I find the heartbeat sensor is a bit of a crutch, and sometimes you just like tap it when you know that everyone's ghosted and you're not actually going to be able to see anyone. Like you just tap it and then you run around a corner and a guy just sprays you before you even got your gun up. Very annoying, and it's sometimes just a habit that I use, so I just make sure I don't even have my stuns, which are also pretty useful in the final circle. If you get them right, you can, well, basically guarantee a win, as all the riot shielders will testify. Here, I'm just making our way slowly to the edge of zone. Just want to check if anyone's in these bushes. I'd be pretty annoyed if I died to just someone sitting in one of these bushes. That would be very sad. I'm hoping that the zone lets me stay up right on this cliff face. But I couldn't stay behind the tree, but I can just about stay on the cliff face. I'm glad I didn't panic and jump off, because I just want to check along the ridge, see if there's anyone there, and I just catch a slight glimmer of white in that bush. And that's it. Very easy free kill. Only 2 other people left. In this zone, I'd expect 1 in the house and 1 in the firehouse, or maybe 1 in the house and 1 on the river. And there we go. Getting high alerted because someone's trying to snipe at me from the little house. I'm just trying to wait him out here. I know I've blocked line of sight because the bush is in front of the tree, so if I wait a little bit, he'll get bored and probably look around for the other guy, or maybe get shot by the other guy. So I'm just waiting for that until I have to cross out over the open road. Yeah, nice and cautious, and run straight across into cover, and then I'm going to make my way between the trees, using each of them as cover, and I hear them fighting, so I know I can rush forward. I was going to rush forward to that next tree, but I realised I'm already in zone, so I might as well hold this edge in case it pulls my way. And also that tree looked very skinny. I'm just watching which side of the building he pops out from, maybe get some free shots. I thought he'd probably pop from the left side, but in the end I was a little bit slow in trying to aim to the right side. I got a few shots onto him though, and I know exactly where he is, and I've got tons of ammo. I don't know if this is the guy with or without the sniper, so I really shouldn't have been mounting up there, which I realised, and now I'm just spraying through. I have tons of ammo, and get a few shots, and then I realised, well, there's no point fighting. I wasn't sure if he was going to push me, I think, but that was really a waste of a stun grenade. But that was just a precautionary if he was going to push me. And I actually get the zone, which is very nice. So I know that he's going to have to push out of his area first. I again waste another stun grenade. I should have waited until he was being forced out by the zone. He now chucks a stun grenade at me. That was so I got forced back into cover whilst he could rotate. I managed to take his plates off here, and I make quite a big mistake here. Here I should have pushed really far right into the new zone using the rocks as cover, but I was too hesitant actually. I should have committed more, because then now we're both getting pushed by the zone at the same time. The only advantage I have is that I have the gold gas mask, which is very, very good in the end zones, because no one actually expects you to have it. So they're like, why are they in the gas for this long and still surviving? Here he gets so many shots onto me. If I didn't have a gold gas mask here, I'd be dead. I don't panic though, stay behind the tree. I'm listening for him. I hear him come to the right, jump to the left, miss some shots. He also misses some shots, managed to dodge around the rock and somehow take him out with the LMG. That was not a very clean win, but they all do count. I've actually been using this LMG setup for a couple of weeks now, and it's so nice in solos to know that you can just deal with vehicles from 100, 200 meters away, especially in the final circles if there's 3, 4, 5 trucks. You can just like sit on a roof or in a building and take them all out before you have to even worry about them when you get into the open. Just be careful you don't get sniped, I suppose. If you ever try out this setup, make sure to pop in the comments telling me what you think. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.